Hi, this is Editor Troxel, and in today's tutorial we're going to go back and look at an old tutorial that we've previously did, the one where we remove the quiet sections. And the question was, how can we also remove it on another track, such as the video track that goes along with the audio track that we just processed? So we're going to make some assumptions on this and assume that the video track is the track above it. And then we're going to take another look at another possibility. So let's see what some of the possibilities are. Here's the actual script that we use to remove the quiet sections. And the important part is right here. First of all, we render out a temp file, which gets us the loud file that we need in order to process the loud sections. And then we process the log, and we are passing it my track. So if we wanted to process another track, all we really need to do is call this again with the other track. So let's assume that the video track is going to be the track above this audio track. And so we can do something like track vid track equals myvegas.project.tracks. And then we have to tell it which track. Well, the track we want is my track.index -1, the track above it. And then we can simply call process log again. So we call process log, pass it the temp log again, and then this time we're going to pass it the vid track. So if we save this, let's go back and look at our project. So here we have the audio track, and here is the track above the audio track, so we'll assume that that is the video track that goes with this audio track. And when we run the script, you'll see it now removes the quiet sections from both the audio track and the video track that is directly above it. Now let's say that we have this one audio track and we really wanted to just remove it from every video track. And so let's just assume that we're going to use the overall audio. If you had multiple audio tracks, it's going to require all audio tracks to be quiet in order to remove the section. So how would we do that? So let's go back to here, and instead of putting all of this inside this for loop, let's go up here and we are going to do the render outside of this loop. Then we're going to move the deletes also outside of this loop. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. This will not be in here. We will not need to do this, but what we are going to do is get rid of this, because we don't care what kind of track it is anymore, and then we'll get rid of this. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to render it out, the overall audio. We don't care which track. We're just going to render out the overall audio. Then we're going to go through every track in the project, and we're going to process that log on every track. And then we can go ahead and delete the temp files as we were before. And because we're only using the base files, we no longer need to save the track status, and we no longer need to recall the track status. In recalling what we're doing here, now we are simply doing the render template. Then for every track we are going to process for that log, and then we are going to delete the temp files. We are no longer looking at a specific audio track, we are just looking at the overall audio. So now you can see that every track has been processed based on this one audio track, And so the sections on every video track above it have also been removed. And so now all of the quiet sections have been removed. So as you can see, we can actually call this routine multiple times with multiple tracks, and it will just process each track using the same log data. And so we could pass it whichever tracks we want to be processed, and the quiet sections will be removed from every one of those tracks. In this last case, we just passed it every track in the project. And so it not only did the audio track, but it did the 3 video tracks above it. And that's an easy way to just remove all of the quiet sections across all tracks. And then you could actually use one of our other previous tutorials, which said to close gaps over multiple tracks. And that would just close all the gaps together, and then you would have all the timeline back together with all the quiet places removed. I hope you find this tutorial useful. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.
Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.